Guys, there is a shocking update to this story that we covered a few days ago of a young man in Ogombo, Anja area of Lagos State that was said to have killed his girlfriend. Goodness, all because Ope loaned her 500,000 naira and he requested for it and she said no. So, it turns out that the young man is innocent. And it's looking like somebody set him up to destroy his life, all because he recorded when the person was being beaten up. This story has taken a different turn and I want all of you to sit down and listen, because this young man would have had his entire life taken away from him, all because somebody had it in mind to destroy him. This is why you gotta be careful of people who hate you. Be careful of people who have it in mind for you. If you know somebody is threatening you and promising to destroy your life, don't joke with that threat. Because this young man, whose name we now know to be Morgan, would have been lynched and beaten to death. From the video that was circulating, from the story that was circulating, his life would have been destroyed. He would have been killed had it been this was back in the day where jungle justice was rampant, for something he did not do, because somebody took advantage of his situation and set him up by killing his girlfriend to make it look like he was the one who did it. I'm having goosebumps learning about this. So let's get into it. So not much changed from the initial story, except we now know the name of the young man to be Morgan and the deceased lady to be Sarah, also called Goodness, as we were told in our last video. And it is true that Sarah and Morgan were dating. It is also true that Morgan is into dry cleaning, is a dry cleaner, while Sarah works as a POS girl for a church, for her pastor in her church. So what is not entirely correct is that Morgan and Sarah did not always live together. In our previous story, we're made to understand that we're told that they lived together, but that is not far-fetched. Morgan used to frequent Sarah's house a lot. He sleeps there sometimes because he needs to work there. He needs to take some of his dry cleaning jobs there because her house has more space and, you know, probably more access to water or something like that. Where he stays is crowded. So most times he is at Sarah's house. However, the house is Sarah's and she lives alone. Now, there is a young man called Joseph who is neighbors with Sarah, living in the same compound as Sarah. It's a Paco house with a bunch of wooden houses, just those low settlement areas where they say most of them there are from the same state. A lot of them are from Akwa Ibom. So they're all friends by virtue of where they come from. Now, this said Joseph guy lives in the same compound as Sarah. And one day, a few months before this tragic incident, Joseph was said to have been caught stealing. The said Joseph is known to be a thief. Like, things go missing, they suspect him. However, on this said day, he was caught red-handed stealing, and a lot of the boys decided to treat his fuck up. They decided to gang up on him, to beat him up, teach him a lesson, make him apologize, and make him swear he would never steal again. So during the beating process, during the treating his fuck up process of this said Joseph, Sarah and her boyfriend Morgan were filming. They did not partake in beating him. It happened in Sarah's compound, but she did not join hands to beat him. She was recording. Morgan too was also recording. And the Joseph guy on the floor getting the slaps and the beating sees them both recording. And in his head, that video was most likely going to hit the internet. And that was something he did not want. In that moment, Joseph is thinking to himself that, why are these people filming me? I hope they are not going to post it online. Like, let him just finish from here. He will go and ask them to delete it. And I think that was what Joseph wanted to do. So after that day that Joseph, Sarah's neighbor, was beaten and it all died down and everybody moved on with their life, the said Joseph continued to go after Morgan and Sarah, requesting that they delete the video from their phone. And obviously, these kinds of things is not something you can't just tell somebody to delete something from their phone. If they choose to, they will. If they don't choose to, it's up to them. According to Morgan, from time to time around that period, he would get threatening messages from Joseph, telling him that if he does not delete the videos from his phone, he's going to deal with him. He's going to show him something. He's going to make sure that he regrets it. You know, those kind of threatening message that would make you wonder if is somebody trying to kill you or is somebody trying to destroy you. Like, what is this guy on about? Morgan, however, did not take it too seriously because, again, they're all from Akwa Ibom apparently, so they all know each other, they're all familiar with each other. So he did not think Joseph would do anything because he doesn't also plan to upload it, and maybe he has even deleted it, and I don't know. But Morgan just hinted that Joseph would threaten him, send him text messages, threaten to deal with him in a way he would never forget if he does not delete those videos. Now, you can imagine what Joseph is texting to Morgan. What would he be doing to Sarah, who lives in his compound and lives alone for the most part? So it is believed that Joseph may have threatened Sarah multiple times, probably quarreled with her a few times to get the video out of her phone, and that is as far as Morgan knows. Now, fast forward to when Sarah went missing. Morgan says that he would come to Sarah's house and he would stop seeing Sarah. That he stopped seeing Sarah for a while. After a day, 2 or 3, he would call her phone. It wasn't ringing. It wasn't going. Somebody would pick and the person won't say anything. Eventually, he reaches out to Sarah's pastor, who then tells him that he too hadn't seen Sarah. And together, he and the pastor went to the police station to file a missing person report on Sarah. Just around that period of time, the pastor calls Morgan and tells him that they found Sarah's body in a swamp floating, and it was clear that she had been murdered. So in the video we saw of him getting beaten, getting harassed, getting dragged by the community boys in Ogombo, where was the time he was coming to see the body because the pastor had called him, and everyone in Ogombo, everybody in that neighborhood have been told that he was the one who did it. The rumors and the stories started spreading, and the narrative was Sarah had gotten a loan from Ope, 500k, and Morgan had asked her to give it to him to do something else with it, and she refused. And from what I could get from another source, they said that that is true, that is actually true. The young lady did get the loan from Ope, and that her boyfriend Morgan did request for it, but she refused. However, that may have caused one small boyfriend and girlfriend rift, and there's a chance that Sarah may have gone to tell other people in the compound, and there is a chance that Joseph may have heard about it and thought to himself that this would be the perfect time to strike. He was going to kill 4 birds with 1 stone. And when the initial story about the OP money and the borrowing and the rift between the two of them came about, the said Joseph mobilized some of his friends. They broke into Sarah's house and pretty much killed her, took her mobile phone, may have taken the money, and may have also gotten access to the phone to delete those videos that he always wanted out of this girl's phone. And then that is why they probably dumped the body still in that neighborhood, in a very shallow swamp, because this Joseph wanted this girl's body to be found so that they can blame the killing on Morgan. It was clearly a ploy by Joseph to set this up in a way where the girl's body would be found. The story that he actually asked her for the open money would go around, and people would automatically say he's the one, because clearly he comes to this girl's house from time to time and he's the boyfriend. And most murder stories usually happens to be that, yes, the boyfriends are usually the first and turn out to be the killers. When Morgan was arrested in the video and taken to police custody, he swore his innocence, and eventually the police decided to trace Sarah's mobile phone. That was when they traced it to, White Paint, one area in Shongotedo, and instantly it was found in the possession of Joseph. The said Joseph, who thought he was smart, orchestrating all this, was still in the possession of this girl's phone. And when they saw him with the phone, they knew instantly that he either had a hand in this girl's death or he knows about it. And when Morgan hears that Joseph was the one found with the mobile phone of his girlfriend, that was when he remembered that, oh, This is what he probably meant. This is what he has been trying to do. This is what he has been trying to, the whole threat messages that he has been sending him, telling him that he's going to show him something, he's going to deal with him in a way he would never forget, he's going to destroy his life. So this is what this guy meant. And he had to tell the police the whole story with his experience with Joseph. And that clearly shows that he and Joseph are not even friends or friendly or good enough to orchestrate this girl's killing. And with that, Morgan was able to clear his name, and Joseph fell into the trap that he thought he had set for someone else. Imagine how far he had to go just to teach somebody a lesson. And this is also why you shouldn't keep your enemies close. They say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That would have been so deadly in this situation. Imagine a scenario where Joseph had access to Morgan, and maybe after killing Sarah, he could playfully go to Morgan's house and chill because Morgan would not even know Sarah is missing at this point, and then plant the mobile phone in his house. Imagine if Joseph had had that time and chance to plant that mobile phone somewhere in Morgan's house, and then when they eventually trace the phone to Morgan's house, there's no way Morgan will come out of this. There would have been no way Morgan would have defended himself out of this. The only thing that saved him was the fact that the mobile phone of Sarah was found in the possession of the bastard who killed her. If Joseph and Morgan were kicking, were friendly as much as they are supposed to be, Joseph would have had a good opportunity to pin this on him completely, like all the way to the end. Especially given the fact that he did it at a time when this girl and the boyfriend had had issues over the loan. Wow. This is why this is why you got to be careful when you're fighting with somebody, while fighting with a friend, fighting with your girlfriend, your wife, your partner. Be careful so that people don't hear, people don't know, so that the enemies who is trying to destroy you, people don't hear about it. If not, that would be the perfect time for them to strike, and they will take advantage of that situation so that when everything comes to an end, everybody will look at you with one eye and everybody will blame you and suspect you. It's unfortunate. I'm just happy that Morgan has gotten his life back and has been vindicated so far. So we'll just have to see how the story develops. We've not heard anything from Joseph's side. Basically just a video of him apologizing and him getting accused and all of that bit, and mentioning that there were other people involved. The police has not given an official statement regarding their investigation. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's really unfortunate. It's just sad. Just because somebody recorded you being beaten and now you take it this far. The people who beat you did not kill them, but it's the ones that did not touch you. They just filmed it and recorded it. They were probably keeping it safe for evidence that would have been helpful to you, because imagine they beat you and you died from there. That video would have helped find justice for you, Joseph. But those are the people you are going after to destroy and kill. It's unfortunate.